validation, now I validate myself. Building inner strength, putting doubt up on the shelf. No more unnecessary drama, no more wasted time. Climbing higher constantly, making my own climb. Standing on higher ground, where excellence is found. My potential knows no bounds. Raising the bar, breaking ground. My network is my net worth. Choose your company wise. Surround yourself with eagles, not with sheep in disguise. Every interaction is a reflection of my brand. Quality over quantity, that's my personal command. Standing on higher ground, where excellence is found. My potential knows no bounds. Raising the bar, breaking ground. Whoa. I'm not just living, I'm manifesting my vision. Cutting through limitations with surgical precision. My expectations are my compass, my respect is my shield. To mediocrity and chaos, I will never yield. I'm manifesting my vision, cutting through limitations with surgical precision. My expectations are my compass, my respect is my shield. To mediocrity and chaos, I will never yield. Standing on higher ground, where excellence is found. My potential knows no bounds. Raising the bar, breaking ground. I'm not just living, I'm manifesting my vision. Cutting through limitations with surgical precision. My expectations are my compass, my respect is my shield. To mediocrity and chaos, I will never yield.
How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to This and That. I'm your host, Xander, where we're talking about this, that, and everything in between. Special shout out to Red Void. I see you just jumped in here from Twitch. We really appreciate you guys coming in from Twitch and Twitter. Today is going to be, we're going to piggyback off of yesterday's show. I know we had a lot of y'all in here yesterday throwing your 2 cents around, and I greatly appreciate it. Whether you're for or against me, you know, your opinions are definitely important and definitely valuable. So I really appreciate that. Today, we're going to be talking about the cybersecurity stocks. And the reason why we're talking about cybersecurity stocks is because cybersecurity is important since we are leaning into the digital era. So I'm going to be giving you guys a lot of information on that. And it kind of piggybacks off of us coming to understand that everybody's personal security is in jeopardy because of what's going on with Dodge and the Department of Treasury. So I figure let's start talking about making some money utilizing cybersecurity stocks. Make sure that you guys like and subscribe. Also, remember that you have the opportunity to join a membership. If you guys ever like what we got going on in the podcast, you could always throw us a few dollars here and there in special gifts, likes, emojis, special thanks, and gifts. They got those up there now because they're doing this weird diamond looking thing. You guys will see it in your drop downs, but anything that you give to the podcast helps us out. So we really appreciate that when you do decide to do it. uh, likewise, we are live 7 nights a week. I want you guys to understand that. We were supposed to start about an hour ago, but right when I decided to go live, the internet crashed. So, I had to make sure that the internet was working before I go live, because I don't want to have a scenario where we go dark as soon as we start talking about something serious. So I said, well, let me make sure the internet's working before we go live. So it took me a while, and now I'm confident that the internet won't fail us over the next 3 or 4 hours, so we can take as much time as we need to run tonight's show. So with that being said, we're supposed to start at 10 o'clock, but we get started at sometime a little after 10 o'clock, and then we run it every night of the week, 7 nights a week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is usually about money and how our economy and other countries' economies are impacted by the decisions of the local government that changes the way that you make money. But it's about money. It's about making money, saving money, investing money. You want to save money to invest money, because you're not trying to just put it into an account and don't count money. I'm not talking about taking money and putting it into a wall and leaving it there. We're talking about like putting it somewhere where the money makes money for you until you need it or want it. Then Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we talk about social dynamics, including self-improvement, social improvements, first-person accountability, non-negotiable expectations for behavior, dating advice, relationship advice, which are not the same, marriage advice, which is not the same. And we're going to have a lot of critics in here when we start talking about that, because, it happens. Sundays, our members only show, where we talk about, we do reactions to the questions and comments that come across the show. So if I see some questions or comments that I think, yeah, we need to talk about this, then I'll address them. So whenever you guys put your comments into the comment section, as I showed you guys on Sunday, I try to address every comment to the best of my ability, until I become overwhelmed with comments and I'm not capable of addressing them all. Then I'll have to figure something out. I might have to select some favorites or something. But while the comments are reasonably manageable, if I get responses from the fans, those responses I end up utilizing as appropriate comments. We do have a community channel where the members only comments that stay with the members will be discussed in the private members only shows, but I'm not going to do that as of yet. So just note that we've got ways to show you guys off the grid, more detailed information that's a lot more unscripted and a lot more adult content, if you will. However, today, you guys are going to join me into the world of cybersecurity, because I know if you've seen that thumbnail, you're like, ooh, what is this? And we're going to be dealing with the challenges of finding the best investments to protect your money. Now, I know that you guys have understood that in today's age, cybersecurity is starting to play a more significant critical role in safeguarding our financial investments, as well as safeguarding our profiles, our gaming accounts, all this other stuff, because somebody can hack it, steal it, take over it, and run off with it, and then we don't get it back. It's interesting that even though banks are supposed to protect your money up to $250,000, you can lose $10,000 and a bank will just close out your bank account and send you on your way and not refund you your money. You have to sue the bank to get your money back a lot of the times, which is horrible, but that's just the way life goes. So what we have to understand is that with more cybersecurity, we have the ability to better micromanage our online presence, as well as allow ourselves to better navigate some of the cyber attacks that we see on a day-to-day basis. And with the rise of online transactions and digital storage, with Google charging you for the cloud because they're going to link your Google cell phone, your cell phone account has to be linked to a Google email primarily. You can use Hotmail or anything like that, but the average person is going to grab a Gmail account and link it to their cell phone, and then all of their contacts is going to be saved on that Gmail account. So whenever you add a new cell phone to that Gmail account, it'll download your contact list from 20 years ago to your new cell phone, which then photos are now uploaded to your Gmail account, to Gmail Photos, Google Photos, which is a problem, because when you start getting photos and videos at 5 and 10 gigs an image, or 5 or 10 gigs a video clip, and they're only going to give you like 2 to 5 gigs for free, and then charge you per month for up to a terabyte, if not 2 to 5 terabytes for commercial, where you're paying like $40 a month to rent cloud space to store all of your stuff. You have to understand that if it's in the cloud, somebody can access it. the same way any of your devices that has accessibility to your Gmail account can access your cloud. Anybody else who has access to your Gmail account can access your cloud. So if you have confidential information in the cloud, such as financial information, blackmail information, child photos that you didn't want getting out, if it's in the cloud, somebody can access it. And that's where cybersecurity comes in. So instead of us just talking about ways to just put our money in places to make a buck, because I've already done that, I am following DJP1, who asked me, he came to the show, I think it was Thursday or Friday, and he asked me an interesting question. And this question actually made me think a little bit harder about how I do what I do when I do what I do, because he asked me, what did I learn from Donald Trump's financial investment strategies? And I thought about it for a second on the show, and then I started going down a list of things that he has done that made sense, that if I did that in my life, that I would end up being more financially successful. Well, one of the things that Donald Trump does, and one of the things that he is doing with the US government, is he is only putting his money in places where he benefits from it. Not profit wise, but like actually benefits from it. So utilizing the US money to back cryptocurrency as a stock investment with US funds, that stock investment generates revenue to the US government, where even though they're not utilizing cryptocurrency as a primary source of currency, the fact is that trillions of dollars getting 5% interest is a significant benefit for the US government to be able to pay off the trillions of dollars of deficit, reducing the deficit. Once they start going into a positive, where the value of the dollar is more effective, because the GDP would be in a positive instead of being in a negative, you would see that the ability to utilize US currency in other countries would be more significant. The fact is, though, when he's investing in things that he can benefit from, like energy, technology, healthcare, that investing in these companies, when they put out vaccines, he gets a profit off of that. When they put out new AI technology, he gets a profit from that. When electric cars start driving themselves, he gets a profit from that. He puts his money where it's important, so that when that becomes successful, he makes a profit off of it. So not only is he going to use it and promote it because he stands by it, but he's also going to get paid off of using it, because everybody who pays into it is going to lead to the profits that the shareholders receive. I was like, shit, that makes sense. We all need cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is everything from ADT with home security all the way up to encrypted phones and encrypted internet access, and all kinds of encrypted computer stuff, and antivirus software and everything. All of this stuff is in line with cybersecurity. It's not just the Mission Impossible laser beams across the floor of a mansion with a safe the size of a house with like one little golden egg in there that's worth $1 billion. That's cybersecurity, but that's not the average everyday cybersecurity. The average everyday cybersecurity is the key fob to your car that you don't want to get hacked, where they can steal your car. These levels of there's a lot of levels of cybersecurity. So cyber companies working in different ways to improve security, because there's hackers everywhere. The hackers that hack the construction signs, the hackers that hack the Tesla cars and ran them off the road and kill people, the hackers that hack the US government and become fugitives of the state and then become members of the CIA as a probationary process. All of these things happen on a regular basis. We all know these days that you can look in your email and see a handful of emails that is offering you inheritance, loans, credit cards, and they're bullshit ass links where if you click that link in a timely fashion, it'll hyperlink you to a website that'll steal your bank account information. Where had you not clicked that link, you would not have gotten hacked. So having cybersecurity is very important, but every company has shares, and every company that has shares, you can invest in. Every company that you can invest in, you can turn a profit from. So why not put your money where you can profit from it? A lot of people donate money to charity, but why not invest as a shareholder into that charity? Because your money would still be going towards the same quantity of success. The only difference is you'll be getting dividends back off of that effort, or be qualifiable for dividends if you sell your shares, because sometimes there are non-dividend distributing shares in companies where you buy it and hold the value of those shares. And then when you decide to sell it, you sell it at whatever value the company is worth. And if you sell it higher than you bought it, that is your profit. So when we're looking at digital storage, our money is more vulnerable than ever in the world of cyber threats, because even with our cell phones right now, most people with an Android or an iPhone have either a Google wallet or an Android wallet or iTunes wallet or PayPal wallet or Amazon Prime wallet. There's so many digital wallets that are out there where your cell phone keeps your credit and debit cards on file, sometimes with the CVV code on the back in the records, where all you have to do is use your bioprint or put in a 4-digit PIN number to use that card on the spot, which actually makes it more convenient for impulse buyers, which makes it more convenient for advertisers who attract impulse buyers to make sales, which allows you to utilize your discretionary funds with less control, more recklessness. But the fact is that because you have 10, 20, 30 debit cards or credit cards that are accessible at the push of a button, the person that's walking past you with a cell phone cloner has the accessibility to clone your whole cell phone and have your entire wallet and all of the credit cards accessible at the push of a button. Yeah. People don't think about that. A lot of times cell phones that are in these gigantic big cases and stuff that sealed, where it doesn't have the ability to do the wireless charging capability, those phones sometimes are safer, because if it's not transmitting a signal because it's enclosed in this massive casing, it's less likely to be hacked by somebody. But it's not invulnerable to hacking, because if they hang around your phone face up too long, they can still absorb the signal, especially if you have that NFC, I do believe is what it's called, feature turned on your cell phone, which basically allows you to have files transferred from your device to any device that Bluetooths to your device. And with most of us having our Bluetooth device turned on by default for easy accessibility to our wireless headsets, our laptops, and our cars, and having our Wi-Fi automatically accessible so that we can get better connection to nearby free public Wi-Fi systems to better boost our cellular signal so that we have better connectivity to our Bluetooth music and TV and other such, and GPS situations. You have to understand that those are two gateways that somebody can access your cell phone and steal all your money off of your credit cards. So today's show, playing off of Elon Musk being accused of data security, I said, shit, we can make money off of investing in data security, and that's why we decided to do today's show. Now, it's essential to take proactive measures to protect our financial assets, and that's where cyber security stocks come in. Now, I also told you guys yesterday that by there having over 8,000 financial institutions in this country, that you can get one account in each one of those financial institutions, and you would have the ability to spread your money around. Most of those bank accounts and check credit unions offer you guys the ability. It's an incentive for them to get your money up to $500. They give you between 5 and 7% interest, depending on the credit union or the bank account that you access. This gives you a plethora of options, because if you have your funds inbound into one bank account and outbound into another bank account, if a transaction gets challenged, your inbound money is not frozen. If you have in-person bank account where you make transactions in person, and an online bank account where you make transactions online, if a fraudulent transaction occurs online, it doesn't impact your in-person spending, and it doesn't impact your inbound money. Your automatic bill pay for your bills should be in its own separate account that is not impacted by outbound spending. That's not your bills. That's 4 accounts we're talking about already. If you've got a business, your business accounts, inbound and outbound, should be separate from your personal accounts. That's 6 accounts. And then I already talked to you guys about the taxes, where you're allowed to, with TurboTax, get automatic direct deposit. And you could actually utilize that exact same bank account to do automatic ACH payments when you're paying taxes. So if you have one inbound, outbound for taxes in and of itself, that's 7 accounts in one state if you get them all in the same state. I also told you guys the benefit of having a different bank account in every state of the country, because Southeast banks aren't in the Northeast, East Coast banks aren't in Central America, Northern banks aren't in the South, and Central and Eastern banks are not on the West Coast. West Coast banks are not in Central and not on the East Coast. So no matter what state you go to in this country, if you have at least one bank in that state, then you have at least one opportunity to go to the bank. If you have at least one bank account and one credit union in that state, you have 2 opportunities to go to the bank in that state to replace your credit card, replace your debit card, or dispute a transaction, because it is harder to dispute transactions over the phone than it is to dispute those transactions in person. But by having over 50 or 100, if you get one credit union and one bank account in every state, you have over 100 banking options under your name. The fact is that if you have to close down one account because you're not satisfied with the service of that bank, it doesn't hurt you, because your inbound money never changes. And the only accounts that you're really going to be shutting down is the ones with poor customer service with relation to disputes of unauthorized transactions for outbound accounts, because you're never going to have an issue with auto pay as long as you put the money in there for the auto pay. So these are all things that helps us with micromanaging our money and making sure that our money is going in the correct place. You also have that privilege of paying $15 a month for Clio, that allows you to report to the 3 major credit agencies, so that you could try to work on boosting your credit, but you can link all of your debit cards, all of your bank accounts to one Clio account, which allows you to upload all of the money from all of those accounts to your Clio card whenever you so please, so you don't have to go to the bank. And then you can just use your Clio card to make transactions and kind of deal with micromanaging emergencies. And it's just convenient, but convenience is risks, and convenience costs. You have to pay for convenience, and while you're dealing with the risks on top of convenience expenses, you want to make sure that you're heavily protected. That's why a lot of people use PayPal. I know the young bucks don't know about PayPal. The young bucks are using Cash App. Cash App is unrestricted. It's unmonitored, which means that while, yes, the U.S. government can't track illegal transactions through Cash App, the fact is that if you send the money to the wrong person, customer service is not going to refund you your money. Your money's just gone. So if you can't contact the person you sent the money to and they have a good heart and send the money back, you can't cancel that transaction. You know what I'm saying? So the money's just gone. But with PayPal, it's a buffer between online purchases and your bank account. Same thing with Bitcoin. But Bitcoin has a cash value that fluctuates throughout the year. But if you have investments in stocks and bonds like Stash, that particular account gives you the ability to put up a bunch of stocks that are dividend paying stocks. And then the money that's being paid into your Stash bank account allows you to utilize those cash dividends to pay bills, buy emergency gas, reinvest into the stock market in different areas, switch it over to Bitcoin, or just direct deposit it back into your bank account with no additional fees, where you have the ability to use the profits from your stocks to take care of the difference, subsidize your income. The higher your principal gets, the more dividends you receive. These are all different ways to kind of protect your money and move your money and micromanage your money, so that you don't have all of your money going into one bank account, and when that bank account takes a shit, all of your money is gone. You don't want to have your primary bank account be the bank account gets frozen like MC Hammer's money, where you can't do nothing until 45 days later, after they finish undoing all of the mistakes, after they prove or just accept the fact that it wasn't you that caused those mistakes. These are the issues that very few people think about. So the threat of cyber attacks is more than real, and more so than ever. With individuals and businesses facing a constant barrage of hacking attempts, phishing scams, and other forms of cyber crimes, we have to understand that in 2020 alone, cyber attacks resulted in the losses of over $6 trillion globally. And this staggering figure highlights the urgent need for robust cybersecurity measures to mitigate these risks. I actually just found a phone the other day that costs almost as much as today's iPhone 16 or Android S25, and it actually has encrypted software in it. Haven't gotten it yet because, I mean, shit, it's almost $1,000 for this fucking phone. And it may operate on a separate cybersecurity network than the standard cell phone. So if it doesn't have dual services where I have to put my current carrier on there alongside the cybersecurity carrier, I have to pay special rates for a cybersecurity phone. You have to pay for convenience. So if it's not in line with the budget, I'm not going to waste my money on it just to talk about it on a show, but they actually do have that. I think it's like a BlackBerry style, the phone, but it looks like the Solarion, which is a $5,000 if you get it off of Amazon or eBay, but it's a $5,000 phone. $5,000 for a phone, okay, and you still got to put network on it, okay. But every day we hear about new data breaches, compromised passwords, and stolen sensitive information, emphasizing the importance of investing in cybersecurity. So cybersecurity is no longer a luxury, but a necessity. As the digital world continues to evolve, the threat landscape is becoming increasingly complex, making it crucial for individuals and businesses to prioritize cybersecurity. With the rise of remote work, as I've been encouraging you guys to get on so that you guys can make money for you no matter where you are in the world, the attack surface has expanded because the more people that are on a computer or on a cell phone or on any type of device that can connect to the internet, the more people that are susceptible to being hacked. Cyber criminals are getting more sophisticated, making it even more challenging to stay ahead of the threat. And the threat curve has gotten substantial. You guys got credit card readers at the gas station, credit card readers at the grocery stores. Like you got to be careful where you go to swipe your card, which is the reason why I told you, if you have a bank account for outbound purchases in person that is separate from the bank accounts from online purchases, you have that separate from, look, I gave you guys separate accounts. The 8th account, a bank account specifically for travel. That's the bank account where you call that bank, you tell them what city, state, and country you're planning on going to. When you get there, you let them know that you're about to make X, Y, and Z purchase. When you get ready to leave that city and state and country, and you call your bank and let them know that you're leaving that city and state and country, if you're no longer there and transactions are still happening when you're in a different city, state, or country, then they can start flagging your stuff for identity theft. And while it's inconvenient for you to be standing in the line preparing to make a purchase, waiting on hold for customer service to authorize the transaction, that is really the truest way for you to keep your money from being stolen. It's the same equivalence for the bottom 99% of poor people to micromanage their account in this fashion or utilize the lock and unlock feature with online banking of all of your debit cards. It's the same equivalence of having a multi-millionaire or a billionaire call their accountant and make sure that they can make this transaction before they make this transaction, and then tell one of their personal assistants to go and make that transaction for them so that the transaction gets made. It's the same thing. The only difference is that you yourself are not standing in that long line waiting on hold for customer service to authorize a transaction. So when it comes to investing in cybersecurity, there are numerous options available in the market, but some of the top cybersecurity stocks include companies like Palo Alto Networks, CyberArk, Checkpoint, zscaler, and Sentinel One. And I think we have another one here that is also crowdstrike. let's see, we got another one up here. I think it's CrowdStrike. That's the other one that we have. That are some of the top ones that we're going to be looking at today. These companies specialize in providing cutting-edge cybersecurity solutions to protect against various types of threats. So Palo Alto Networks, for instance, offers advanced threat detection and prevention solutions, while CyberArk focuses on privileged access management and identity security. Privileged access management means authorized users. So if I'm going to use it, my significant other is going to use it, or I'm going to use it and my kids are going to use it, there's a limited number of people that are privileged to manage this particular account. And then identity security is going to be utilizing your identity to prove your existence instead of simple passwords. So identity security could be bioprints, retina scans, stuff to that effect, where your personal identity validates authorization to access that software or that computer or technology. Checkpoint, on the other hand, provides comprehensive cybersecurity architecture to protect against evolving threats like virus scans and hacking computers and taking control of desktops and stuff to that effect. Now, these companies have demonstrated impressive growth and resilience in the face of increasing cyber threats, making them attractive investment options. So when you hear stories in politics and on the news and in local government, since Joe Biden passed that thing in 2023, you've heard cyber threat or data protection or national security related to data protection and public access to personal information. These are the statements that you've heard related to TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. What's that company called? Mega or Metatech? The U.S. Treasury with Elon Musk. That's at least 6 situations that I can think about right now where cybersecurity is being promoted incidentally because of the advertisement of data leaks. So that gives cybersecurity more of a push in the stock market, because if the news is continuously talking about the need for more cyber protection, more people are going to invest in cyber protection, because if you put your money where your interests are and you're going to turn a profit at the same time, you'll get better security and you'll get paid for it at the same time. One of the methods of Donald Trump. That's why I said, let's talk about it, because if we follow his steps, we can figure out where we should put our money, because not only will we benefit from investing in it, we'll benefit from using it. So another notable player in the cybersecurity space was CrowdStrike, and this company has gained significant attention in recent years for its innovative approach to endpoint security. Endpoint security is encryption software, end-to-end encryption. So endpoints, by cutting off those endpoints from public accessibility, you're less likely to have your cell phone as easily wiretapped without a warrant, and you're less likely to have your text messages easily copied and snatched off the cloud, and you're less likely to have your online usage tracked and thrown back in your face as false advertisement, or not false advertisement, but forced advertisement. So notice that if you have certain conversations about certain things near your phone, and then you start searching for stuff in your phone, you come to find out that ads pop up on your phone related to the stuff that you talked about in the presence of your phone, because most apps you authorize in the terms and conditions their ability to compromise your phone, which includes accessing the camera, the microphone, the data space, including photos and other save files. And because we authorize this in order to utilize certain apps like YouTube and TikTok, Twitter, Snapchat, and Facebook, because you have to give them permission to force a photo off of your phone onto that platform so that you can update your social media status and post that photo, or update your social media status and post that video. The fact is that because you gave them permission for you to do this for your own personal entertainment or your own personal self-identification online, now the platform has the ability and the legal authorization by your permission to extract that information off your phone without your consent, because you already consented to it when you approved the terms and conditions of the app. Yeah, that part. Now, you also have the fact that if you have endpoint encryption, they're not pushing ads on you for stuff that you talk about. If you Google search the same thing 2 or 3 times, the next time you see an ad, whatever that was, will be exactly what you're going to get ads on. You think I'm lying to you because you've watched this show 3 times this week related to business and finance. I can guarantee you that you're seeing a lot more investment advertisement coming across your cell phone while you're watching this podcast. I had nothing to do with that. The fact is that your phone is advertisement through Google, which is why Google monopoly is being sued right now. That's a whole nother story. But your cell phone through Google AdSense is force feeding you knowledge that you didn't really want to buy stuff, because the algorithm is getting your search information and getting your interests off of the content that you look at on these social media platforms, and then they utilize those algorithms to send you stuff that you might be interested in. Now, those of us that are impulse buyers are going to Google something 2 or 3, 4 times. And then after that, they're going to start getting ads on it where it's at the best deal possible. That person is going to take whatever little bit of money they got left over and go and buy that one thing because they feel like they need it. Then they're in a compromising position, because when something happens, that money that should have been sitting there in case of that emergency is no longer accessible, where that individual now is stuck between a rock and a hard place, having to borrow money because they impulse bought, because this ad was so enticing and the auto pay was set up where they just touched the screen and they bought it before they knew anything about it. Next thing they know, there's a package on their doorstep. So this endpoint security beneficial, because this is the kind of thing that will keep search engines and other such platforms from taking your search interest and using it as a source of advertisement, because even Google Incognito is not incognito. If you look up the same thing too many times on Google Incognito, it's still going to throw ads at you based on the last thing that you research. You think I'm lying? Google search grenades, landmines, and military grade weapons. Guarantee you, after you finish typing those 3 things individually into your Google search settings, I guarantee you the next time that you look up something different, look up a car, look up a cell phone, look up a purse, that while you're looking at purses, they're going to be giving you ads about guns. While you're looking up shoes, they're going to be giving you advertisements about riot spray or something stupid like that, because the last 2 or 3 searches before that, you were looking up weapons of mass destruction. You'll see what I'm telling you is true. Now, with its cloud-based platforms, situations like CrowdStrike provides real-time threat detection and response, allowing businesses to stay one step ahead of cyber criminals. So what sets CrowdStrike apart is its ability to detect and prevent even the most sophisticated attacks, making it a compelling investment choice for those looking to safeguard their financial assets. CrowdStrike's impressive growth, coupled with its cutting-edge technology, has made it a standout in the cybersecurity space. And investing in CrowdStrike or any other cybersecurity stock requires a thorough understanding of that company's financials, growth, prospects, and competitive landscape. So if you understand all that, you understand that it's essential to do your own research to consider your individual financial goals before making any investment decisions. And I'm always going to tell y'all that during the show when I'm talking to you guys about investments. Don't just take my word for it. Ask the Google lady. That being said, the potential for growth and a critical role of cybersecurity plays in protecting financial assets makes these stocks an attractive option for investors. Now, Cyber Software LDT appears to be the best cybersecurity stock for 2025 because CyberArk is the global leader in identity security and has shown exceptional performance. In 2024, CyberArk's shares delivered an impressive return of 53.2%, or Jefferies named CyberArk as the top pick for 2025 with a price target of $400 per share. CyberArk is well positioned to sustain momentum in 2025 due to an elevated threat environment. The company is expected to experience growth through new customer acquisitions, maintenance, conversions, and Venafi cross-sells. Analysts forecast growth in the low to mid 20% range for the year. As of February 11th, 2025, CyberArk stock price is $381.81 with a market cap of $18.82 trillion or $82 billion. So almost $19 billion is the market cap. While other cybersecurity stocks are also notable contenders, CyberArk's strong performance and positive outlook make it the standout choice for 2025. Now, as of February 11th of 2025, here's a comparison of Palo Alto networks, CyberArk, and Checkpoint. In comparison, Palo Alto Network, PANW, has a current stock price of $192.03, where the forecast is between $382.45 and $450.90. Their quarter one highlights gives them a revenue of 14%, where their year over year is $2.1 billion. The next generation security is grown 40% year over year with $4.5 billion increase. The GAAP net income of $350.7 million or 99 cents per diluted share. Wow. Now, CyberArk's a little bit different. The current stock price is far more expensive at $381.81 a share, which, if you remember correctly, that's about $1 less than what Palo Alto is aiming to achieve. The analyst is projecting a target of $400 per share, where Jefferies made it the top pick in 2025, but the 2024 performance being 53.2% returns, you're looking at this company is holding its own as one of the top valued stocks. Zscaler is on the same level as Palo Alto at $181.82, where there's a prediction of end-to-end year profits being between $225 and $270, with an average target of $255, reflecting a potential upside of 10 to 41% from its current price. Zscaler has faced volatility with a 15% decline over the past year, but is expected to rebound due to a strong secular tailwind in cloud adoption and sales force improvements. The stock has a moderate buy consumerism from analysts with 23 recommended buy and 11 suggesting hold. 23 people say buy it, 11 people say hold it. So that means that 12 people are going to buy it and sell it. Keep that in mind. There's some growth-driven specs here, where secular growth in cloud adoption and new product pipelines are key factors in driving optimization. Now, Sentinel-1 is going to be more effective for those of us that are more financially challenged, because when you look at Sentinel-1, it is $24.39 a share. So $24.39 a share. That means that 10 of these would be $243.90. Now, comparably, if you're looking at 10 shares of Sentinel-1 valuing less than one share of CyberArk, when you're looking at the dividends paid out from CyberArk being similar to the dividends paid out in Sentinel-1, while the value of the stock is lower, the profit margin is almost the same. You're looking at analysts that predicted an average price target of $29.56 or $29.56, with a high of $34 and a low of $23, which represents the upside potential of 24% from the current price, where the stock has lost. It's gained a negative 11%, but it's lost 11% since the end of 2024, and is projected to grow in the near term due to bullish sentiment and undervaluation. And an undervaluation is a system that occurs where people don't believe that the stock is valuable. And since people don't believe that the stock is valuable, they will lower the price of the stock. A lot of the times, people that don't believe that the stock is valuable are also going to pay into the stock at a lower rate, or sell off most of their shares of the stock and buy into something that's a lot more bullish. An undervalued stock is going to be a stock that's going to have higher payouts, even though the pay to earnings is low. Pay to earnings is the amount of money you pay versus the money that you earn. The earnings is going to be divided by the payment, and the fraction that you get out of that is usually a dollar sign. So you might see like $3.80 as a pay to earn, which means that you're going to have more available there than what you have with a pay to earn. It's at like 283. Not all the time is a big number good. When you're looking at the pay to earn, the smaller the number, the more profits that's involved for you. But that also means that that particular product is undervalued. You want undervalued stocks. Undervalued stocks are good for you. So analysts have said that Sentinel-1 also holds a moderate buy rating, with 19 analysts recommending buy it and 7 recommending hold it, where 12 again are talking about sell it. There's always 12 people that are trying to get rid of it. Now, the company benefits from its focus on AI-driven cybersecurity solutions and consistent market expansions. And I had a graph here where you've got it compared to Zscaler compared to Sentinel-1, where the forecast has different values, but Zscaler is about 21%, well, 10 to 41%, while Sentinel-1 is 24%. And you're looking at all of the different values of how they stack up. And if you put your stock options side by side and look at how they stack up value-wise versus investment cost and over time longevity, you actually can decide which stock, if not both stocks, that you can invest in, because if they're both reasonably moderately good, when one goes down, the other one goes up, and no matter what you're looking at, your money is always going to be increasing, because the average between a down stock and an up stock is the profit margin, And as long as your up stock is higher than your down stock, you've turned a profit. So losses versus gains, if your gains are higher than your losses, you turn a profit. Now, Checkpoint Software was a technology, CHKP, that is current performance in 2025 with the stock price as of February 11th, 2025 at $213.54. They're looking at $10.60 to $10.20 payout with quarter one, and $12.13 to $2 and $2.13 to $2.23 later on after quarter one. The revenue guidance for 2025 first quarter is looking at $619 to $649 million compared to a consensus estimated of $633.1 million, which is a ton of money. And the price forecast for short terms is looking at the expected price range being between $212.79 to $234.89. So March of 2025, we're looking at a decline to around 205.54%, where you're going to lose 3.16% by mid-March. This may give you the ability to determine whether or not you're going to invest in that stock now or wait until late March and then invest in that stock right after the dip. Analyst average price target for 2025 is $223.48 with a high of $255 and a low of $190, representing a potential upside of 5% from the current price. So again, you have a hold or a neutral from most analysts, where you're looking at a stifle Nicholas increase its price target from 109 to 220. So whoever Nicholas is, he's suggesting that there's going to be an increase from 190 to 222. Barclays raised its target from 200 to 230. So that everybody's increasing their expectations between $30 or more. Now, Checkpoint remains a leader in the network and has stable earnings in the security platforms, where the company has consistently provided strong EPS guidance and revenue estimates. Now, the risk that we have to always take into account is that current sentiment is neutral, with the stock trading slightly above forecasted values, suggesting limited short-term upside. And the fear and greed that is going to be involved in this will put this particular investment stock index indicated as fear, reflecting cautious investor sentiment. Now, Checkpoint offers steady growth prospects, but may not provide significant short-term returns compared to other cybersecurity stocks like Palo Alto Networks or CyberArk, and its reliable earnings and leadership in network security make it a solid choice for conservative investors prioritizing stability over aggressive growth. Most of us that are financially challenged are looking for accelerated growth. So with all that being said, here's an overview of CrowdStrike Holdings Incorporated. Because as of February 2025, February 11th of 2025, everybody put their 2 cents in cybersecurity today. Whereas I do believe it was the REITs that we were talking about a couple days ago that was supposed to be putting in their quarter ones by the 12th of this month, which is tomorrow or in 15 minutes. Current performance stock prices are $430.84 for CrowdStrike, and that's up 0.4% after the analyst upgrade by Key Corps. And the price target for Key Corp raised its price from $395 to $480, which is like an $85 increase, maintaining an overweight rating. Now, the average analyst price is targeted at $372.13, with some predictions reaching up to $468.10 by the end of 2025. You're going to be looking at your Q3 revenue is $1.01 billion, which is $1,010,000, and that's going to be a 29% increase year over year. The annual reoccurring revenue of $4.02 billion is up 27% year over year, and free cash flow is still $231 million, achieving a free cash flow margin of 51%. The upcoming earnings of CrowdStrike will release its Q4 fiscal year 2025 earnings in March 4th of 2025. So their Q4 from 2024 will be released in March of 2025. The CrowdStrike continues to lead in AI-driven cybersecurity, benefiting from increasing global demand for advanced threat detection. The company has surpassed key milestones, including $1 billion in quarterly revenue and $4 billion in the annual revenue received. CrowdStrike focus on artificial intelligence and machine learning for cybersecurity positions it as a leader in the sector, which is equivalent to Elon Musk focusing on the security of his Cybertrucks and his Tesla Ys and Tesla X's. So the stock forecast for 2025 allows in February to have the expected close at $285 with a monthly high of $308. The year-end prediction is analyzed to expect to soak the stock to reach between 468 and 482 by December, reflecting a strong growth potential. The consensus rating is moderate, like most, with a majority of analysts recommending buy or strong buy. Now, you either buy it or you buy it now, damn it, is the difference between buy and strong buy. Valuation concerns, we always got to take that into consideration. The stock's profit and earning ratio is high, extremely high. Remember, I told you that the lower it is, the more beneficial it is for you. 3 to 5 is really good when you're looking at profits to earnings. But this one, 718, not really all that beneficial for the here and now kind of situation, indicating that investors are pricing in significant future growth expectations. CrowdStrike is another strong performer in the cybersecurity sector with robust financial growth and expanding market dominance. Its AI-driven solutions and increased annual revenue received make it a promising investment for long-term growth, though its high valuation may warrant caution for risk-adverse investors. Now, one of the things I want to point out here is that none of the aforementioned cybersecurity companies listed, including CrowdStrike, SentinelOne, Palo Alto Network, CyberArk, zscaler, or Checkpoint Software Technologies, currently pays dividends to shareholders. So if you invest in these stocks, unlike the REITs that I was telling you about before, you will buy and hold this stock until the value of it reaches a level that you feel satisfied with selling, or right before the market crash, or you're going to just keep it and then use it as collateral when you're borrowing for cash stock. It's not going to give you money. So as the stock increases in value, you have the value of that stock if you were to liquidate it at that time, but you have no realized dividend profits from the increase in value of your shares. And if something happens where a huge Watergate scandal occurs and the company gets shut down, all the money you gave them and all the interest the company gained is all gone. So you have to look at what you're trying to accomplish. If you put your money somewhere and your money is hanging out for a long period of time and it's not giving you back weekly, monthly, quarterly, semi-quarterly, annual dividends, you're not getting anything back in the immediate. You're only getting something off of that stock if you sell it. Now, plenty of millionaires, plenty of day traders make money by buying the stock and then turning around and selling it, and then turning around and buying it back, and then turning around and selling it once again, because when they buy low and sell high, they can keep picking up that stock as that stock is highly volatile. In conclusion, we want to remember that investing in cybersecurity stocks is crucial steps in safeguarding your financial assets in today's digital age. With the rising threat of cyber attacks and importance of protecting sensitive information, cybersecurity stocks offer a compelling investment opportunity. By investing in these stocks, you can not only protect your financial assets, but also contribute to the development of innovative cybersecurity solutions. I just want to tell you guys, when we start talking about really innovative cybersecurity solutions, we talk about bioprints for your doors. We're talking about electronic biological locks for your deadbolts. We're talking about retina scans to get into your house. We're talking about wall safes to get into your bedroom, like all of this other stuff that like you can make a safe room in your house where they just can't get in there kind of thing. I would make a safe room with a trap door in it that goes underground and comes out 5 miles down the road like the Bat Cave. That by the time they get into that room, I'm on the other side of town, zooming away on my electric motorcycle with the solar panel on the back. I'm just saying. So I was able to give you guys some insight on some stocks and some shares that are really doing a good job in their individual niche that is allowing you to make money for you. And I strongly encourage you guys to take a look at these things as you go forward, because if you're not paying attention to what you're investing in, you're missing out on a lot of stuff. So I want to appreciate you guys for watching the show tonight, and make sure that you don't forget to share your thoughts below in the comment section. So what are your favorite cyber stocks, and do you think they're worthwhile investments for you? Me personally, I'm still stuck on REITs because REITs have a monthly dividend, and I'm one of those pay me now kind of person. I need to realize real dividend profits right now so that I can reorganize my budgeting. But that's just my personal approach. Some people would prefer to buy gold and let it sit there until the gold is valued at $1 million, whereas other people can only put their money there long enough for them to go and pay for next month's bills. Let me know. Be sure to check out the videos that we have on investment strategies for the rest of the week, because we got a lot of stuff going when it comes down to investment strategies on stocks and bonds and other such investments. It's been a wild ride with the changes in the government. And since it has been a wild ride with the changes in the government, we understand that a lot of things with the stock market is not going to be the way it used to be. So we need to be able to prepare ourselves for the betterment of what the country turns into, and then be able to invest ourselves as well as our time and our money into places where money will make money for us, so that we can put less effort into making money for ourselves. So that's one of the reasons why I take time to go over stocks and bonds and real estate and give you guys insight and information and news on certain stocks that really just makes sense for you guys to value and invest in. And that helps you guys make better choices. So tomorrow we're going to be tiptoeing into one of the other countries that's good for you to go live in, that's very affordable and also has really good investment options. So we're going to be talking about living abroad or investing abroad. So overseas or offshore investments if you're a United States people. But if you are not in the United States, special shout out to Romania, Brazil, Belize, who else we had come in here recently? Russia, Indonesia, and who was that yesterday? Started with an I. It wasn't Indonesia. I can't remember what it was, but it started with an I. Special shout out to them too. I'm gonna go back and take a look at it later today, and I'll be able to see which country that was, because the live chat does replay on the replay of the show. I'll be able to tell you which country that was and add them to the list of countries that are looking at us, because we are a worldwide country. While Donald Trump is trying to do away with daylight savings time, we're going to kind of not entertain daylight savings time either. So the show is going to stay at the same time slot, since I know that daylight savings time usually happens sometime close to March. So as we get closer to March, I'm going to keep reminding you guys that we're going to technically stay at the same time. It's just that when the clocks shift for daylight savings time, the show is just going to start at a different daylight savings time. I think the clocks fall forward in the spring, or spring forward is how they call it, spring forward, fall back. So I think 10 o'clock becomes 11 o'clock. And if that's the case, then it'll be 11. But that's pretty much what we're doing right now, though. We're like 10 minutes to 11 sometimes when we start the show. But when daylight savings time happens, it's going to be 10 minutes to 11 when we start the show. So it's not going to change anything. It's going to effectively start at 10 o'clock, because we'll be starting 10 minutes before the show, because we rolled in so freaking late. So just note that we're going to be here live 7 nights a week. Make sure that you guys take a look at what we got coming up for tomorrow. Thursday show is already up there, and we're going to be doing some more setups later this week. We just got to make sure that the way the world is changing around us, that we don't miss it. So we might cover some stuff on Friday and Saturday. And if not, we've got some pretty decent topics that we're going to be talking about. So make sure that you guys stay tuned with us. Again, I'm going to ask you guys to like and subscribe. And again, I want you guys to take a listen to Higher Ground, because I think that Higher Ground is a really awesome song. Hopefully some of y'all can get here and catch the version of Higher Ground that opens the show, because we actually play 2 different versions of the song, because they did 3 covers for the podcast itself. And then they did non-negotiables and what is it called? Executive Protocol. So these are different, and all of the names for all of the songs are, look, I got clients calling me already. All of the versions of the song are in the description, either below or off to the side of the show, and you guys can see those descriptions and click the link. It'll take you to the YouTube channel of the song. And then also, if you click the link right below the link, it'll take you to the Amazon version of the song, which gives you the ability to purchase the song for download onto your devices with Amazon Prime. So I encourage you guys to take a look and listen at that. In the meantime, as we step out, I want to thank you guys for coming to This and That. Probably when we start getting into those black pill, red pill debates, when the ladies start coming in and putting their 2 cents in, we'll be able to bring all of those that were here Sunday back on Thursday. I'm going to tag everybody and let them know right before the show starts that the show's about to start, so that when they come in and we start talking gas, they're going to be all in on that particular type of conversation. So on my way out, so I tell you guys on a nightly basis, ladies, as long as the situation doesn't make sense, I'm going to keep asking y'all to make it make sense. So ladies, please make it make sense. One more time, special shout out Danny Steffi, Red Void, Max Opposer, Mr. Pibbs, Liberty Twitcher, Silly Emma, Reese Martinez, Light Blue, Carl, and Cody D. Appreciate you guys for coming to the show. Was it Viv, Maya? Can't remember everybody. We had a Karen that was up here. She was acting like a Karen, but she wasn't really Karen. But Nikki, that's who it was. Special shout out to you guys for showing us love over the past few days. And for the fellas that have been showing us love all year, 2024, still showing us love in 2025. One more special shout out to Rooterus, because Rooterus took some of our dating advice, and now he is in a pretty hot and heavy relationship. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he's got going on coming up, because Valentine's Day is in a few days, and I know you guys have got stuff that y'all want to accomplish for Valentine's Day. So thank you guys for coming to This and That. I'm your host, Xander, where we talk about this, that, and everything in between. And we're going to try to see you guys. We're going to be here tomorrow night. We're going to try to be closer to 10 o'clock, but sometime between 10 and 11. We tip closer to 10:30. We're probably going to tee it off, but sometime around 10 and 10:30, we're going to start the show off, and then the meat and potatoes should happen between 10:30 and 10:45. So be sure to come between 10 and 11 and see what we got going on and ride that wave with us for the hour to 4 hours that we try to run the show. Thank you guys again for coming to the show tonight, and I'm going to see you guys tomorrow night.
Higher ground. Used to chase validation, now I validate myself. Building inner strength, putting doubt upon the shelf. No more unnecessary drama, no more wasted time. Climbing higher, constantly making my own climb. Standing on higher ground where excellence is found. My potential knows no bounds, raising the bar, breaking ground. My network is my net worth. Choose your company wise. Surround yourself with eagles, not with sheep in disguise. Every interaction is a reflection of my brand. Quality over quantity, that's my personal command. I'm not landing on higher ground where excellence is found. My potential knows no bounds, raising the bar, breaking ground. I'm not just living, I'm manifesting my vision, cutting through limitations with surgical precision. My expectations are my compass, my respect is my shield to mediocrity and chaos. I will never I'm not just living, I'm manifesting my vision, cutting through limitations with surgical precision. My expectations are my compass, my respect is my shield to mediocrity and chaos. I will never yield.